Jacob's got a fuel leak on the seam of the little tank.
We think Arch has dropped a cell in his. Unfortunately, my spare doesn't fit.
He's tripping at a pretty good rate at the Rig Road junction. Just gonna get a photo. Harry says this bush is obscuring. Very picky spinning it.
Is that any better? Okay, you do it.
You did a great job.
Photographer's setting up. Jacob, what's up with your fuel?
Looks like it might have a bit of a leak in the main tank. So we're just going to run the car off the main tank for now to get to Dalhousie, and then we'll be able to have a better look at it there. So we think it could be maybe a hose on top that's come loose, or maybe one of the straps holding the tank in has rubbed through. But we'll have a better look there.
Okay.
We'll see what's going on. Keep you updated.
Okay, sounds good. Got everything crossed for you. It's something really minor and easily fixed.
Fingers crossed, but
Yeah.
we come prepared for worst case scenarios.
Yep.
So we'll be able to fix it.
Terry and I once fixed a leaking fuel tank in our 1970 Cortina on the Untitled track for the run into Coober Pedy by using shoe goo. It's just
That didn't work. We tried Shugu. That didn't work. So then we went to bar soap. And so the bar soap worked.
Traffic.
Yep. Improvising in our backpacker days, 1990.
Just at the Rig Road intersection, airing the tyres up. How much are we putting in?
30 and 35.
Airing up.
Airing up.
Woohoo! Oh shoot, it's actually sad. But exciting because we're going to the hot springs, Dalhousie.
Couple of days we'll back in the desert. How much air are you putting in?
Yeah, 35 in the back and 30 in the front. With the light on.
Oh, a mouse. Is it alive?
Oh, it's poo or something on hold. I don't know, yeah. It could be.
Oh, that'd be poo.
He gave me mouse poo!
That'd be like dingo poo that's eaten the mouse.
And he was like, Jill. Thanks, Jill.
Did you set her up? Oh yeah, I'm ready for a swim. Very therapeutic, I think it'll be. Mr. Terry, airing up.
Airing up. Yeah.
Woo, getting a bit closer for that swim.
Yeah, you better believe it. Midday we should be in the water.
Therapeutic.
Help with a bit of my ball teeth.
Right, TMI. Hello, little fella. Aren't you cute? What?
Someone's been in my fridge.
What's that? Jill looks a little bit guilty though. Jacob's on high alert all the time. Jill, you've got a tumour on your butt cheek. What is that? It's a tumour. What's going on, Jacob?
I don't know, you can't trust
Shenanigans.
them. Shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
Time will come, don't you worry. I've got a few ideas.
Got it.
Jaffa!
Jaffa. All done?
Yep, just gonna roll it in, line up.
Yep.
We're done.
Do I stay in high?
Yeah, high range, yep. When you come into camp, put it back into 2. And
Yep.
just make sure the little green light goes out.
It'll just flap around too much, will
Yeah,
it?
just destroyed.
Yeah. Till we do it in reverse.
Just filming the burrs on the bottom of my shoes. They're flat on one side and prickly on the other. They're pretty cool. They look like starfish or snowflakes.
Well, we've left the Rig Road French Line Junction and we're now heading towards Pernibor. The track now is clay capped, so as soon as you hit that junction, the desert travel is basically over. This road from the junction to Pernibor is pretty good. My recollection of the road from Pernibor to Dalhousie is, in a word, shit. It's nice little pinches on the top of these dunes where you can get a little bit of air. Yeah, I'm on your wing, Maddie. I'm in the same track as Archman. Oh, there be a Hakeem, the kebabster. Hakeem, we're just behind you, mate. Yo, yo, yo! Thank you, Jill! Watch out for the washout. Yo! Trying to burn that fuel now, hey? It's the only time we can get him to get speed. Staying right. Yo! Righto. Buzz away. Yo, 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 yo! Woohoo! I love them! Just passed a couple of boys on adventure bikes that had a busted frame carrying all their gear. They were heading from Mount Dare to Birdsville, and they've strapped it up with a bit of strapping that they had with them, and they're doing a U-bolt back to Mount Dare and gonna have to get it welded up if they can. It was a pretty pissy little frame, something you'd see on a bicycle, not a adventure bike, but I'm sure they'll get it sorted. We're still traveling in a westerly direction, probably coming up on Perny Bore before too long. Matt's saying less than 5k to Perny, and my recollection after that is the roads flattens out, you don't have any of these jumps anymore, and it turns into dusty bull dust corrugated shit. As you can see, we got an easterly wind blowing, and it's basically blowing the dust straight down the track, so GoPro lens could be getting a little dusty and a little bit hard to see. Already we can see the dunes starting to flatten out now.
Alright, we're off to Dalhousie. Next we'll be passing by Perny Bore first, and then Dalhousie Springs, so about 100 k's to go. Hanging out for that swim, I tell you. Yeah, have been in fourth gear for a while. Let us know what speed you get up to, Jacob, so we can try to all sit on the same, keep the distance.
Yep, I'm just going to stick to 60.
Alrighty, just going to let you get ahead a little bit more than me.
Copy.
What speed's he on, Kim? I was still over the dip.
He's going to sit on 60 at the moment.
This is the stuff, guys, that turns to absolute puck when it gets wet.
I certainly do not remember so much growth, as in plants and shit.
I do think there's more than I've seen before, too.
Just left Perny Bore and we're back on the track again, off to Dalhousie. We met a fella in a white Rubicon, didn't actually get his name, but he knew the channel, so that was pretty cool. So if you're watching this video, mate, hope you got across the desert safely. Going across some of these really large clay pans at the moment. One of these is called Glue Pot Bog, I'm not sure which one, but we got a mate, Andrew Wilkie, that got rained out at Dalhousie and got stuck in this bog. The tires basically stopped turning on his car. He had to dig all the shit out from under it. And that was after they opened the track. I could only imagine what it was like when it was closed. Just coming into Dalhousie Springs now.
Remember, we're right in front of us, I think, is where we camped last time, all the way along that track.
We arrived at the springs around midday. The plan was to chill for the day, overnight, and then the following day the scooters would head into Mount Dare. They needed to get some fuel for the bikes and cars, a bit of grog, and of course they'd never been there before, so it was a bit of an adventure.
Jaffa at Dalhousie.
Hey, Arch. Long ride, buddy.
We made it. We survived.
Sunrise at Dalhousie. It's actually the prettiest sunrise we've had in the desert so far. Dalhousie Springs is truly an oasis in the desert. You know those images you've seen as a kid? A large tree-lined pool of water surrounded by a dry, arid land? Well, this is it in reality. And the best part, It's the temperature of a warm to hot bath, and the rangers have kindly built a set of stairs that lead you into this paradise.
Melons.
Melons?
Even big melons.
Where were they?
In my sleeping bag.
How do they get there?
Oh, I didn't put this one. You can't put that on YouTube. Yeah. And then I because it's multi-layered, they don't just come out, so you have to unzip it. And it's a pain in the ass to unzip. So I unzipped it all, and I've been sitting up there zipping it back up, getting it all good, and I get in there, and I lie down on the pillow, and then I hit my head on a huge melon. There's a huge one inside there, and just as I wanted to go to sleep, and I was like, you're kidding.
So did you pack your sleeping bag up with melons in it?
No.
Because it has happened before. People have been known to make mistakes like that.
I haven't done that.
Accidentally leaving things in their sleeping bag.
No.
We are the only people. No, there's a few people. It's normally packed when we're here. Dilly's ready for a swim. Swim, swim. Look, Terry's getting changed. We won't go around there. Off to Mount Dare.
Yep, off from out there. Fuel.
Lunch.
Lunch. Beers.
How long does it take to get to Mount Dare?
70 k's.
Can't remember.
So, depends on the condition of the road. Hour and a half.
Terry's downloading some memory cards.
Hey.
Restocking.
Restocking.
Look at that fridge. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
Nice. You're sorted.
2 jerry cans of petrol. 2 jerry cans of diesel. So we'll have top up the tanks as well.
Cool.
Get some beer for Arch. Get some merch. Bit of
Some
lunch. Should be good. And then back to the hot springs.
What's the go with the size here, Jacob? Yours is bigger than Terry's.
Real overlanders have bigger tables. That's just how it is.
Cutting room floor. Drive safe, guys. Enjoy.
Take on the dare.
Okay. Bye, my children.
I'm going for a walk down to the springs for a little bit of a swim. The scooters have gone off to Mount Dare. Last time we were here, there were like, I don't know, 10 pool noodles max. I think they've had a little bit of donations, or maybe they multiply. Maybe they're doing things at nighttime. Maybe all that howling we're hearing at night is pool noodles.
That was you, Jack.
The water does look a bit cleaner than when we were in yesterday morning, or yesterday abo, sorry. Get the noodle, baby.
I'm a 2 noodle boy.
I carry my own noodle. Helps me keep upright. Oh, yeah. So nice.
Sea donkey.
I'm going to warm my noodle up.
We got the whole spring to ourselves. Boy, we jagged that. What time is it? 11 o'clock in the afternoon or 11 o'clock in the morning? Maddie and I are just floating on these noodles down to the end of the hot spring, which is what, the southern end of the hot? No, the western end of the hot spring. And that's the hot end. That's where it comes out, and it drains in the eastern end.
These springs can be very dangerous. Be careful you don't overcook yourself. Tennille passed out after yesterday's swim, so it was a stark reminder for us. Look after each other in the water.
Are you walking, Terry?
Not. No. Nope. And I can't touch either. Mate, that twin noodle that you got is twice as fast as my single noodle. Yeah, there's this algae floating all over the surface of the water here.
The wind must have blown it up this end, because there's none down there.
No. And it'd probably just take a wisp of a breeze to move the stuff. Yeah, I thought it'd come out somewhere on this very end here. Last time we did this, we walked it though, didn't we?
Yeah, around the perimeter and then cut across.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely warmer here.
Yeah, it is. I can hear it. Hear it run on? Yeah. It's trickling in. Oh yeah. Come here, mate. This is where it comes in.
Is it hot?
Yeah, put your hand up on the surface here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's bubbling up from back there
Yep, coming into here.
and coming in. Yeah, I can hear it running.
Yep. Yeah, it's hot here too. Oh.
Is it? Must be trickling all through these weeds and reeds. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, 100%.
You got sweat on your forehead.
Have I?
Yeah.
Far out.
I might even jump out and do the walk around it. You might cross over it up there.
Yeah, you may very well do. I know you cross over it down there.
Ran aground.
Beached ass, bro.
Frighten the crap out of me. Hit me on the ass.
As you guys would have seen, the road in from Pernybore to here is crap. It really is. It's 70k of... It doesn't look too bad. It's picturesque enough, but the road itself is shit. But it is worth doing that 70k to get to here.
Looking like you're doing it tough there, Arch.
Yep. Relax.
All you need is a beer.
Better wash the powder off the balls.
Are they getting any better too?
Yeah, much better, thanks.
Just got to do a welfare check on Tay's balls.
Definitely dry them well.
Yep, I reckon another application and I'll be perfect.
Until you saddle up tomorrow.
We're doing the walk around the perimeter of the Dalhousie Springs. And we're gonna visit another springs by the look of the walking trail sign anyway. And then when we get back, we'll go for another splash. We're at another one of those springs just west of Dalhousie Spring. And we're just trying to see whether we can find a way into it. The sign did say no swimming, so either they don't want it contaminated or you burn your backside off. It's very cool with the wind through these cattails. These cool little salt bushes. Kimmy said it's almost like living coral. It's quite soft. And the mineral deposits on this track are just insane. Calcium and magnesium and sodium. Hopefully the camera picks this up, but I've got the sunrise at my back and there's a rainbow in front of me. The sun's not up yet, so the rainbow's actually getting formed from the reflection from the clouds. That's very cool.
Good morning. It's Monday. We're leaving Dalhousie Springs. Had a few issues with Archie's bike this morning. The battery was flat, so they had to boost it.
Well, we've left Dalhousie Springs, heading back into the desert in an easterly direction, of course. And we're on that shit bit of road with corrugations and gibbers and all sorts of nastiness. But this is the price we got to pay to get out to Dalhousie, so that's all good. Great time at Dalhousie, only one minor mishap. Tennille got a little bit overcooked in the water and passed out for about 30 seconds once she got out, but it was all good. So just a word of warning, try not to overcook yourself in those springs because it can happen. She had friends around her, obviously, to help her out, but I wouldn't have wanted to be in on my own.
I am going 4 kilometers an hour. We've just dropped our rubbish at the tip to the east of...
Yeah, traffic in me, there's dust in front of me, there's dust everywhere.
Dalhousie Springs, and the dust is just hanging on the road. There's a party of 4 in front of us, then there's our guys on bikes, then there's Hakeem, Kim, me, and Jacob, and yeah, we may end up losing comms. It's another beautiful day, quite chilly this morning. Terry, Jacob, and Cody went for a swim just before we left. It was too cold out for me to want to deal with wet togs, so I gave it a miss. Looking forward to getting back into the desert. And all is going well. Another happy day heading back into the desert. Sandy corrugulations, as our daughter Erin calls them corrugations. I'm doing 45 kilometers an hour through this section, heading for Pernybore. But I thought I would try and give you a little bit of flavor of the track. There was a little John O' bush on it.
The image stabilization on these GoPros is fantastic, so I'm sure this track looks smooth as anything. But I can give you the hot tip. These corrugations are vicious. Try and run up into the left or the right track as high as possible to keep out of them, but they're everywhere. Maddie just called out we did 42K since camp, which is good because we've only got about 70 or 80 odd K of this shit before we hit Pernybore and we get into our happy jumps. It's a bit tricky as well because it's obviously morning. We're traveling east into the sun, pretty dusty, and that dust just reflects and refracts in the sunlight and you can't see anything. So you got to try and hang back as far as you can without losing comms for the guys in front of you, because if you drop out of comms then obviously they back off because they don't know whether you're okay or not. Tricky balance.
On a gibbery section now, changed again. Just picking my way along here. Some big gibbers. You can get up some okay speed in some sections. You might have to wash it off super quickly because of sudden dips or turns or ruts. Okay, into a scrubby, windy bit of trail now. Is snaking my way along. In third gear at the moment. Just rally car driving, it feels like, really. You can see why you do not want to get reined in at Dalhousie Springs. What a nightmare that would be getting out of there.
When the track divides out, Jill take the left one, I took the right one. It was a bit crappy.
Thank you.
We're pretty much nearly over the corrugations coming out of Dalhousie. I have to say, I'm glad we're on the other side of that. Not a fan. Seem to have a lot more squeaks in this car now than I did this morning. We should be getting pretty close to hitting some dunes soon.
And I can see the first dune ahead. Woohoo! Not sad about that. Heading back into the Simpson Desert proper. There was the sign, and here is a dune. Very good news. Whoa. The TPMS system came unhooked from the windscreen on me. Though I was looking at that and hit it at a little bit too high of speed. The bike riders are at Pernybore having morning smoko right now. Truck's going well. I'm going well. Except I need to wee. Bouncing like Tigger. Tiggers love to bounce. Yeah, there's the sign. Pernybore, 300 meters ahead. Kim say I see a drone. Terry, yeah, we'll probably have the drone up. I wouldn't be surprised. Can film us coming in. Oh, I see the drone. I might give it a wave. There she goes.
Just left Pernybore and we are back heading east, and we're coming into those awesome whoop-de-doos and jumps. The closer we get to the rig junction, the more funner they get. Got Arch up in point, Maddie's behind him, and I'm dragging the rear. 5 or so years ago on a trip, I was running through this section and hit a bloody dingo. I came over top of one of these moguls here in the air. He was on the backside and he shot himself and I shot myself and we hit each other. No damage to the dingo, no damage to the rider. That was good. On some of those moguls, you just crack the throttle and drop the back wheel in and they're smooth as. Yoo-hoo! Rightio, mate. Just say when. Coming through on the right. Coming through on the left. Now I'll stay here, Maddie. I'll stay here. Woohoo! Got good air on that one.
ones that were having alternator problems. I asked one of the guys if they got their alternator issue sorted out, and he kind of hummed and hawed for a sec and said, well, it's a developing issue, we will see. They must have tried something and are seeing if it works or not. It's not a good feeling when you head out into an isolated location like this when something isn't working. But yeah, you don't like the alternator not running, or any mechanical issue really. You want to be in tip-top shape. It was like at the beginning of our trip, the cruiser for some unknown reason wasn't detecting the key. So I was afraid every time I turned it off that it wasn't going to turn back on, even though I used the Toyota hack of holding the key fob up against the start button. Terry disconnected the battery and it still didn't detect it, but then it came back detecting it again later. So we don't know what that's all about. Those intermittent issues are super hard to diagnose. So hopefully something just blepped out and that's the end of that. I don't care if I ever see that issue again. Terry communicated with us. We're going to push on and skip lunch break and pull up early for camp instead. I'm going to put our pork roast on at 1 p.m. But I'm good to keep pushing on. Feeling great. Enjoying being back in the desert. Just coming to the Rig Road junction here.
I'm stopping at the turn to get porked.
Okay, don't be porking for too long.
It's a quick one.
Jaffa cars, Jaffa bikes, got a copy?
Terry was just in touch and asked Hakeem to turn his lights on, so I would say they have chosen a camping location and are keeping their eyes peeled for us. And I have stopped and gotten porked, put the pork in the travel buddy for tonight. See what it looks like over the next dune. We're back into Kinder Surprise land, which I really like. I'm waiting to see what's over the next dune, what view there is, what we might find in our adventuring. Dead Gidgee right there. Spin effects. I saw Hakeem, I saw Kim.
There's a bike coming towards us.
Charlie
Might be one of the
today.
Jaffa bikes actually, they've just pulled up.
Probably Terry with the headlight.
Yeah, it's got a headlight on, you can see it.
2 kilometers from Terry's position is where we are headed. And a beer is not going to be going astray.
What's going on here, fellas? Bit of
I
maintenance.
got a spare battery because we think Arch has dropped a cell in his.
Yep.
Unfortunately, my spare doesn't fit.
Doesn't fit.
No.
Yamaha and Suzuki aren't talking together.
Too big,
Too tall.
Too big.
too tall, and too fat.
Yeah.
So what's the option? You just have to run Archies?
Yeah.
Yep. We're on the Rig Road, mate. We're probably about 20 or 30 kilometers west of Lindy's Junction, which is the junction of the Colson track. And that's where we're heading tomorrow. So we'll hit Lindy's and then we'll get onto the WAA line.
Yep.
Head east on the WAA.
This is the journey home, though?
This is it, mate. Yep, we're heading home now.
Yep. Had our fun at Dalhousie.
What are we going to call this camp? Do we know yet?
Battery camp, I guess.
Battery camp.
Yeah.
There we go.
Battery camp. Up there for thinking, down there for dancing.